Well, what can I say? The month of May is going to be absolutely huge. I'm going to talk about the catalyst that I see coming up. I'll give my commentary. In this video, we'll also take a look at the charts along with those quantum stocks that I think aren't necessarily done moving yet. Now, mind you, they might need some of the market's help. I'll give further commentary on that in this video, and I'll also tell you where you can see my other analyses, my buys and sells over at the Discord, links in the description. But in the meantime, I just want to share one more thing with you, and that's that I was trying to write with a broken pencil this morning, but didn't really work out. Turns out it was pointless. Okay, so into it. Here we go. Putting this up here for you, the calendar. May 1st is already passed. May 2nd, we've already had that. Getting into Monday, we do have ISM services. I don't know that we're going to see anything life-changing out of that. Important at 10 a.m. today, Eastern time, market time, as we look at it. What the bigger thing is, as we get into a balance of trade is going to be okay. The bigger one, mind you, that's for March. I think balance of trade for April, which will end up being at the beginning of June, is what we want to look for balance of trade in terms of impact, because that's the first time that we'll see the whole import and export balance since the Trump tariffs have started to go into effect. So, at least broadly so anyway. The big thing on Wednesday, check this out, 2 p.m. It's really what you want to look at, the Fed interest rate decision. So the FOMC starts their meeting on Tuesday. They end on Wednesday. We'll probably find out that the rates are unchanged. You can check that out. If you look across here, it's 4.5 before. It's still expected to be 4.5 as well. I don't anticipate anything to change there because we haven't really gotten the numbers. Jerome Powell speaking at 2:30, I think, is going to be really the revelatory thing that we're looking for. So when I say revelatory, what revelations will we have? Well, he's probably going to talk about waiting to see the impact of the tariffs. And so I don't expect that they're going to give that cut. I think they're going to say, hey, we're going to wait and see what happens with inflation during this time. We're on the right path. We want to stay on this path. The labor market is still showing signs of strength. I think that it's going to be a very middle of the road announcement from Jerome Powell. Now, mind you, it could still end up being pretty wild if it doesn't go as I expect, or if some of the questions that he gets during that 2:30 time really give some sort of evidence, dovish, hawkish, whatever it is. I still think that the Fed is still going to be walking that fine line in this conference coming up, but the market is probably still going to react to it anyway, leading up to, especially if we have a move upward in the market leading up to that meeting, then expect a rapid drawdown as we get near that 2 o'clock or even 2:30 time frame. And then also during that time, any amount of volatility based on the things that Jerome Powell comes out and says. So day traders, as always, be ready around that 1:30 to 2:30, 3 o'clock time. So putting this back up here for you, what else do we have coming up? Thursday, a little bit of jobs information. On Friday, there we go, lots of Fed. On the May 9th, the Fed has a little thing coming out. I can't remember what it's called at the moment. I don't know that that's going to be the big catalyst, though, although we can listen for it. Moving into the next week, there we go, Tuesday the 13th, CPI. I think even more impactful than that, though, is that we go to PPI and look at its effects that it has, because this is producer prices for April. So this is as we start to get those the tariff things starting to move through. So we'll see what the month of April did. Thursday, the May the 15th, I think, is a huge catalyst coming for us that we absolutely want to watch for. And if we get into Friday, we have Michigan consumer sentiment, 10 a.m. And there you go, 10 a.m. hitting us on Friday. And I believe, let me see, that'd be the 16th of May. Happy birthday to my oldest sister on that day. So on May the 16th, Michigan consumer sentiment, the market, if it's moving upward still throughout the month of May, probably will go pretty well on that. However, if the market finds itself in the toilet, that could also drag down sentiment. Inflation's been pretty subdued recently for some of the reports that we got, but longer term inflation, if we're counting the tariffs in with that, that could be something that we absolutely want to watch. The 5-year inflation expectations, which last time came in at 4.4% for that. So for the inflation expectations, preliminary 6.5%. We'll see if that pulls back. I think that it absolutely could. So going through the rest of May, what else do we have? Scrolling. We want to get towards the end. Home sales going to be a big one. Durable goods, absolutely important to GDP, and that's also going to update the Atlanta Fed GDP now, and I have that for you. Here we go, May 29th, GDP growth rate, the second estimate for Q1. What did we get the last time? For Q1, 0.3% is what, negative 0.3% is what came in for the advanced estimate. Now we're getting the second estimate. If this gets revised up, that could be a very good thing for us. If that gets revised down instead, that's not necessarily going to go so well. Now, mind you, that's also going to influence what we have for the second quarter as well, which as of right now is still positive. I'll get to that in just a moment. And then finally, huge catalyst here, what we have coming out with personal income and outlays. For April, I think this is going to be absolutely enormous to see what's coming for us for the Atlanta Fed for their update. Now, mind you, the Fed, if you just want to see real quick, we'll stop by the CME FedWatch tool, then we'll get to the Atlanta Fed GDP now. 96.8% chance on Wednesday that we stay exactly where we're at with the Fed rate, the federal funds rate. I don't see any reason why Jerome Powell and the Federal Reserve would cut for this meeting, and I think it could be potentially a negative thing if they were to immediately cut in a surprising way right now, unless he had a really good spin for that story as to why that could happen. That could signal some systemic risk that would be out there to cut surprisingly coming up at this next meeting. Atlanta Fed GDP now came out initially at 2.4%, dropped down to 1.1%. And now, mind you, that stays up above this average that we have here for the blue chip consensus. And remember the release dates, they can be found here. And if we scroll down to May 6th is where we get that update. International trade on 5/6. We'll see if that moves it up. If so, if GDP improves as a result of that, well, that can be a very good thing for us. I think that big thing, like I said, is on the 15th right here, the producer price index. I think that's going to be absolutely hugely impactful for what we see because those are April numbers. And just so you know, this is what it looks like since talking about those Trump tariffs leading up into February, just how sharply it's moved up above the 3-month average and that sort of spike since all this tariff talk has begun and trying to really pad those inventories, if you will, and pull them forward. So let's bring that down and let's talk about what we have coming up in the markets. There we go, pop-up trading view, pop that down and put that over there for you. And we're going to go over to Bitcoin just real quick because Bitcoin lost this ray that I have been talking about. I said we need to sit on top of this. If we do, that's bullish. Well, look what happened. We stayed up above there one day, tumbled down after that. Now, mind you, we're still not poorly positioned. We're still in an okay shape right now, but now we do have this resistance to face again if we're going to try that next run up. And this week really could tell us, especially following the Federal Reserve's meeting after Jerome Powell speaks, telling us a little bit more of the risk environment that we face and the look that we have towards easy monetary policy. Now, mind you, we probably are finding some sort of near-term support, but we do have a broadening, if you will, across this bottom ray, which I'll draw it on here for you. Right there's a decent view for us. And this top ray that we would have up here, and that broadening, we could be seeing us moving back up to the upside on this, retesting this resistance along the way. And I'm going to get rid of this circle because it doesn't make as much sense as it used to. There we go. We'll take that out of there. Moving into the Qs now. I said that we would retest, or that we would test the 200-day. We did. We're selling off of it a little bit. That's to be expected, especially after all this climb that we've been through. Pulling back a little bit makes a lot of sense. Now it's about the retest that we get with that 200-day. Same thing with SPY with that 200-day. Not that we fully got there, but we got darn close to getting there. And now we want to watch for what happens. Will we stay above the 50? Will we retest the 50 for support? If so, that's a good thing. If support holds, and then we go up and we want to try out that 200-day to see what's coming for us. For IWM, right now in the pre-market hours, where do we find ourselves? Pre-market hours, we're just at about that 50-day moving average. We're above the 20. That's good. We want to keep the 50. The 20 has just started to inflect upward. So giving just the smallest positive looking slope that we have here, we want to keep that going. Getting the faster moving averages to cross over the slower ones is a very good and bullish sign. So we're not poorly positioned right now. We do want to keep on showing strong signs of GDP improvement. We want to be looking for easy monetary policy. Hopefully Jerome Powell gives us that green light at this meeting, or at least some reason to believe that could be coming for us sometime soon. We do want to be watching the CME FedWatch tool to see what the bond market is doing with that, because right now, even though the market has moved up, right now in terms of easy monetary policy, in terms of the loosening of that federal funds rate, it's only sort of delayed it for right now, more so than what we were looking for. And I think that's taking away some of the strength that we see. But if we see a little bit of relenting with that, that could be a good thing. We do want to keep on watching GDP and inflation to really tell what's going on there. We want to see inflation play out. I think eyes are going to move quickly to inflation now that the whole tariff thing is starting to be enacted following the Liberation Day that we got on April the 2nd, and also the trade war with China. We want to see how that's playing out too. It's going to be an interesting month of May for us, and probably an interesting June as well. And we'll watch what the market does leading up to probably what's going to be pretty messy by September, but we'll see. We'll see. All right, quantum stocks. I talked about them, and yeah, I know I got a lot of a mess here, but I do just want to show you. Let me go down to the daily chart on this. I was talking about the fact that we had a lot of sideways movement. This is QBTS that we're looking at here. This is D-Wave Quantum, which had a 13.3% day on Friday. Friday morning, I said, watch the quantum stocks. Something weird's going on there. Something big is going to happen one way or another. It broke to the upside on us. If we go to QSI on Friday had an 8.62%, was actually the worst performer definitely the penny stock range, being under $2. Matter of fact, just barely being up above $1 as it closed on Friday. And in the pre-market right now, RSI just switching to bullish on that one. And if I take down the simple moving averages and put up the exponential ones for you, you can see a little bit more of what's going on there. We're up above the 5 and 13, but down below the 50, RSI above 50. A bit of a volume spike, pretty decent for us. Not igniting like we had back there, but still not bad at all. And if we go to IonQ, which had nearly a 13% day, the volume was pretty darn good for this. And we're up above the 5, the 13, and the 13 crossed the 50. A nice bullish move there. And then the best performer on Friday was Rigetti, cooling off a little bit in the pre-market. All of them, all 4 quantum stocks that I have on here, each cooling off. This one probably has the best volume movement. And if we take a look at the 1-hour chart to see what's going on here, we actually have a really nice taper here that could be setting up for the next leg, which we could see another movement equal to what we had here to really reach that price target. So with the volume movement that we had with the quantum stocks, I think that this really could set up for that next movement. I think that today, tomorrow, the next day, so these Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday days in the market could be huge for the quantum stocks, each one of them shaping up real nicely, along with the volume conviction movement that we have. So that volume move to the upside could be setting up that next big move for the quantum stocks. Talked about it on Friday. I'm going to post the technicals over at the Discord. If you guys want to see those specific technicals, come on over and join us. I'm the expert of the week over there, so there's even a separate showcase. Make sure you sign up for the earner tier using the link in the description. You'll get unrestricted access not only to my trades and analyses, but also the other panel experts over there as well. The live trading with StockMo is also available along with his trades. And then there's the bread bot, which tells you when the big moves are coming up or down. You can play them in either direction using options. I'll tell you more about options in just a moment. And then also advanced charting tools, AI tools, you name it, it's over there for you. Stocks, cryptos, bonds, whatever you want to talk about finance, it's there waiting for you all through the link in the description through the earner tier. Now, mind you, if you want to learn about trading options, learn about technical analysis, and also learn about the bread recipe, which I use to trade, whether it's the intraday trades or longer term trades, you guys can do that through the coursework through StockMo Academy. Click on the link down in the description for that. Use the code word doctor when you sign up. It's going to save you a ton of cash. And if you bundle the courses, it's going to save you even more cash. I have some showcased pieces in the technical analysis course as well. Got 17 years in education, a high passion for finance, and I share what I have over there. I got my earned doctorate in education, master's degree in instructional technology. I vetted these courses myself, and they are pristine. They are top notch and totally worth your while. So guys, support yourselves, support this channel by checking out those links down in the description. Otherwise, have a great Monday, have a great weekend trading. I hope to see you over at the Discord. I am Dr. Stock, Doctor of Education. Remember, my friends, that learning is earning. We'll see you next video.